All right, so we're continuing our topic of Native American literature, and the learning targets are to demonstrate knowledge of Native American lit and to listen to a story told orally and distill key points. The essential questions are, in the creation myth, what are the key details and how would you use them to retell it? What can we infer about the Onondaga tribe from this myth, and what specifically in the myth makes you say that? So, first of all, I want you to know what the oral tradition is. It's a community's cultural and historical traditions passed down by word of mouth from one generation to another without being written. So, in the oral tradition, people pass down history, like the history of their people, literature, like stories, law, like what's right, what's wrong, and other knowledge across generations without a writing system. So it's just passed down by word of mouth. It's transmitted through either speech or song. Western scholars used to think that Native Americans do not have any literature by academic standards because literature is defined as written works. However, there's this paradox of oral literature. Like, although it sounds like it doesn't make sense because oral means spoken and literature means written, so it sounds like it contradicts itself, can we deem the stories that Native Americans told as literature, like even though they were done orally? And more people are saying yes. The Native Americans have a rich oral tradition that's found across all groups, all tribes. So, what's a myth? A myth is a traditional story, especially one concerning the early history of a people or to explain some natural or social phenomenon, and typically involves supernatural beings or events. The word ology means the study of. So biology, sociology, psychology, you're going to hear ology a lot, and it always means the study of. So in this case, mythology is a study of myths. Native Americans don't share a single unified body of mythology. The many different tribal groups each develop their own stories about the creation of the world, the appearance of the first people, the place of humans in the universe, and the lives and deeds of gods, goddesses, and heroes. So, what you guys are going to be doing today is listening to a Native American myth and then doing an oral retelling of it. So you're going to pretend that you heard it from someone else, and now you're going to, you heard it from someone, and now you're going to tell it to someone else. So we're going to practice today, and then again tomorrow, or again next lesson, because your final for your Native American unit is to do an oral retelling, and it's worth a test grade. So, how will you be graded? First of all, you're going to be graded that you include key details. So if we look at a D, you include some, okay? Whereas a C is you include most of the key details, like the main things of the story. A B, you include all the key details, and they are embedded into an original but less cohesive retelling. So you have all the main points, right? Like the key ideas in the story, key details in the story, but it just doesn't feel cohesive, right? It doesn't feel like you're telling me a story. And then an A is just that when you tell it, you're telling it in a way that it sounds like a cohesive story. After you do your retelling, on the same audio recording, you need to make an inference or inferences and explain them. So you need to think about, okay, what is that myth or tale, in this case a myth, tell us about that particular Native American tribe? Like, what can we infer, okay, about that tribe, and what specifically in the myth makes me say that? So a D would be that you give me some piece of factual information about the tribe. Maybe it's something you just know in your head, maybe it's something you found online, but it's explicit information. It's just a fact, right? This one, you do make an inference, but there's no explanation. You don't tell me why. You're missing the because. What makes you say that? A B, you'll have a logical inference, and you'll explain what in the myth or tale makes you say that. I want you to reference a specific part of the story and explain yourself. An A, either your inference and your explanation is particularly perceptive, like really clever, like not the obvious thing, something that kind of I want to write down and remember because nobody else has said it before. Or maybe you make multiple logical inferences and you explain them, explain what specifically in the myth makes you say those things. So if you really want an A, just do more than one inference with more than one explanation to go with it. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to watch the creation myth from the Onondaga tribe called Earth on Turtle's Back, and there is a video attached to the assignment. I want you to watch it twice, and as you're watching it, take notes on key details that are going to help you retell the stories. So like characters, like in order of what happens, but you need to really think about what words or phrases are essential. You shouldn't pause the video because we want to practice note taking like you're listening, like in school or in college or whatever, to like a lecture. You can't pause it necessarily. So take down notes, try to just use words and phrases, not complete sentences. Don't write out the entire thing that you're going to say, right? Because that's not how it was done. You just listen. And to help you, you can take some notes and not try to do the whole thing from memory. Okay, so what you're going to do is on your own with a partner or in a group of up to 3, not more than 3, please. Audio record yourselves retelling Earth on Turtle's Back. Record on your self-assessment document and Notability. So on today's assignment, you'll see a PDF. It'll say self-assessment, and you'll open that up. And then at the top, when it's in Notability, you'll see like a recording button, and you're going to audio record yourself. Make sure that you write down the name or names of the people who speak, and then if only one of you is submitting the audio recording, tell me who that is. However, everybody needs to submit this document. Everybody needs to self-assess. Okay, whether it's just your own or you and a partner telling it or the whole group, everybody has to turn in this document. And then if you aren't the one with the audio recording, tell me who has it so I know to give you the points for it. After you finish the story, explain what we can infer about the Onondaga tribe from this myth on the same audio file. Okay, so tell the story and then go into your inference. What do the characters, events, and ideas in the story help us to learn about the people who told this myth? What specifically in the myth makes you say that? When you submit, you need to hit the recordings button before sending it to Schoology. So when you go to upload it, okay, somewhere around where it asks you to do a PDF, there's a button that you hit to turn green and it says recordings. That has to be on because then I will get your self-assessment as a PDF, but I will also get an audio file. But I'll only get that audio file if that button is green. All right, if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm looking forward to getting these oral retellings in. Thanks.